Do you know anything about Kaufmann knives? Well, if the answer is no, then you're in good company, because I really don't know much about them either. But in a moment, I'll give you the information that I do have. Hello, knife lovers. Welcome to Knife Delights, a place where friends can gather and discuss all things knives. Little information can be found about this Kaufmann fixed blade knife. The bits and pieces that I can put together is that the Kaufmann brand was by Henry Kaufmann and Son. The company started making knives in 1867. The most famous knife is a folding knife with a cat on it and is called a Mercator knife. Mercator's website says the Mercator knife was trademarked by Heinrich Kaufmann and Sohn, Indiawerk, Solingen, Germany in 1867. Single blade and multi-blade models were manufactured. The Mercator trademark originates from the Latin word for the manufacturer's name Kaufmann, which translates into English as merchant. The original single-blade knife was marked on the handle with a leaping cat and the K55K logo with the second letter K reversed. This trademark is derived from the initial of the manufacturer's name, K, the street of the factory address, 55, and the first letter of the German word for cat, cats. The Heinrich Kaufmann and Sohn factory closed down in 1995. Otter knives have been manufactured since around 1840, with the trademark registered in 1867. The Solingen Company has changed ownership and manufacturing location several times over the years. Established in 2010, Otter Messer GmbH now manufactures Mercator brand knives. So the knife they were describing was a knife that was very popular even with World War I soldiers. It was a folding knife and had a black cat on it and it was leaping. I cannot find out anything about their fixed blade knives. This knife is from my brother's collection again, and as you can see, there's a Boy Scout insignia embedded here in the handle. I cannot find any information that Kaufmann, manufactured official Boy Scout knives. What I am suspecting is that this was kind of a homemade Boy Scout knife. Somebody took an insignia off of another knife or found this inlay here, drilled a hole in the wooden handle and put it down in there and personalized the knife. As a matter of fact, the only other Kaufmann fixed blade knife that I could find was a 4.5-inch version one, and it had stag handles on it. So I'm even questioning if this knife came with the wood handle or if this handle was made by somebody and put on here. There are no other markings on this knife or on the sheath that indicates it's an official Boy Scout knife. Now, I even threw out a lifeline to the professor, Tobias Gibson, to see if he had any information on Kaufmann knives, and he basically agreed with me. We think it's a homemade knife or homemade Boy Scout knife, personalized knife, but that's okay. That does not take anything away from this knife. As we all know, lots of us like to modify our knives and make them personal. So, especially if somebody made this wood handle and went to all that work and effort, why, it was a knife very personal to them. So the overall length of this knife is 10.5 inches, and it has a 5.5-inch clip point blade. And look at this very wide fuller here. That's going to be important in another video, and I'm going to tease you just a little bit here in a moment. And I did happen to notice it looks like the tip of the blade is slightly bent. Somebody's, really used this knife. So we look at the tang stamp, and you can see there it has a K and a 55 and a reverse K, and then it says Kaufmann, Germany. And again, there's no other markings on this knife. The weight of the knife, it comes in at an even 5 ounces, and it has a single brass guard. and a rounded aluminum pommel. Again, I'm going to tease you. Remember those two features. So we can take a look at the sheath. You can see it has the logo there, the Kaufmann logo. And it is the old style belt-through mounting system there. And again, there's no indication on the sheath that this was, made for an official scout knife. Usually they have something stamped in here, or on the button up here they'd have a BSA or something on there. It's just not there. So that's all I know about this knife. I don't know what the age of it is. It could be quite old based on the style, but I just don't know. But here comes the tease. I had just shot a video on Marble's knives, on their fixed blade knives, and the contribution that Marble's made to the hunting knife industry with their designs. And I forgot about this knife, and I need to include this knife in that video. So in the next days or a week or so, look for that video on Marble's knives, the hunting knife. I think you'll be fascinated at some of the features I pointed out on this knife. So if you happen to know anything about the Kaufmann fixed blade knives, why, please leave me a comment. I'd sure be happy to learn more about it. Until next time, have a very delightful day.